Okay, so I actually disagree with your opinion. So
Okay.
for those who missed it, Billy just said that AEW being outdrawn by a house show is really insane. I'm going to challenge you here.
Okay, bring it on.
When you look at those numbers, and again, for those who don't know the numbers, WWE did over 8,000 tickets for a house show in Orlando. The same time, same night, AEW drew 6,700 tickets. I think that's actually really fucking badass, to be honest. Like, I think, genuinely speaking, I think shout out to Orlando for being a great city for pro wrestling.
Absolutely.
But also, I think having both companies being able to have thousands and thousands and thousands of attendance, regardless, house show, pay-per-view, I think it just really goes to show you how strong professional wrestling truly is today. With that being said, there is a little caveat to that, because the fact that AEW was outdrawn by a house show tells you how strong WWE is. And it also tells you that maybe AEW could have done a better job of trying to sell tickets. But at the same time, too, AEW was only a few hundred tickets away from being from being a sellout. So it's not like AEW was necessarily trying to outdraw WWE. Technically,
okay, you have to look at the venue.
You have to look at the venue. So yes, I mean, technically speaking, AEW did get outdrawn, but it wasn't like AEW was trying to sell 15,000 tickets. I mean, they were only like 200 or 300 tickets away from being a sellout.
See, when you look at it from that aspect, you know, I didn't know, because it was in Chicago, wasn't it? The house show? Or no, it was in Orlando. Excuse me. I'm sorry. What arena were they in?
The Kia Center, I think, is what it was.
The Kia Center.
I can't remember. It was something Kia. So Kia Center, and then the AEW one. WWE was the Kia Center, I think, and then AEW was at Addition or added Addition.
So definitely a smaller venue than the Kia Center.
I don't know. Without looking at the numbers, I don't know the exact capacity, because you got to remember they book these bigger venues, and then they're not trying to sell absolutely every single seat in the venue. But you know, I think for some people they're going to turn this into a conversation of WWE good, AEW bad. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think for AEW, what they sold was relatively good for what they would expect. And I do want to say too, like, I think AEW was relatively good in terms of the crowd and stuff. But that's a pay-per-view, right? Like, you kind of come to expect that. I think with WWE, it is a little bit different being a house show. I think what's really interesting though is the future of house shows, because WWE has very publicly said, hey, like, we're not going to do that many of these. And AEW attempted it, and then AEW really struggled to sell house show tickets, which maybe you can argue their strategy was wrong, because they were trying to go to markets where they're not going to bring TV events. But house shows were very short-lived for AEW. House shows in WWE, they are minimalizing how much they're going to be doing, but the ones that they're doing are significantly impactful. They did Chicago with Gunther and CM Punk, and I think it was like 11 to 12,000 tickets sold. WWE tonight in Detroit, Little Caesars Arena, is approaching 10,000.
Is that the number that it's approaching?
That's the number it's approaching. So obviously the live event business,
so busy downtown, bro.
Yeah, well, of course. And so here's the thing that you also got to be mindful of is 10,000 tickets is a phenomenal achievement for a house show. But also at the same time too, it costs money to run these house shows. So even like WWE, CM Punk had a tweet and he was like, oh, we just did $1 million house 3 nights in a row or whatever it was, which I'm sure is fantastic. I think it just goes to show you that even AEW can still be successful with WWE being at the top, right? What isn't successful for AEW versus WWE is, if you're just looking at the numbers, WWE is their numbers when it comes to live attendance are just significantly higher for TV.
Yeah.
Like so AEW is doing 1,000 to 3,000 roughly. Pay-per-view is doing almost 7,000.
So going back to the Kia Center in Orlando and whatnot, that is the home of the Orlando Magic, is the Kia Center.
Okay.
And then the other venue is the University of Central Florida college basketball arena. So there is a little bit of a significant difference in the size of those.
Sure. Which is fine. I mean, I think, like I said,
Big shout out to my man Anthony. That man in the chat hooked it up.
Yeah, I think it's good though. I think it's good for pro wrestling seeing that, and I think looking at WWE and like their numbers, obviously WWE's hot and it shows that like people go to the house shows, but you can't discredit AEW for doing less and being outdrawn by a house show, because ultimately at the end of the day, it would have been really bad if WWE did, let's say 8,000 seats and then AEW did 2,000. The fact that there's so many people, there were so many people in Florida that were like, dude, we got to go to one of these shows.
Wrestling, yeah,
which is great because I think it goes to show you that Florida is still a hot spot for professional wrestling, which is
absolutely.
Yeah. But then here's one thing I will say, and I want to get your reaction to this because this part doesn't get talked about. I know you didn't buy your tickets for WWE for tonight's house show in Detroit, but are you aware of the pricing that WWE currently is?
So I know, like, I'll just go off of like personal.
Yeah.
I know I got floor tickets.
Okay.
For the house show tonight. Spent between me and my girlfriend, about $100
for floor seats.
Or 200, excuse me, 200.
There's no way.
So it was 200 altogether.
There's no way.
Yeah,
I'm calling you out on your bullshit. There's no way.
I promise you. They're not like front row floor seats.
I'm checking it right now. I'm checking it right now.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll show you the ticket. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to see that shit.
I'm texting my girlfriend right now.
Because I'm telling you right now, I've been looking at tickets and floor seats.
I just texted my girlfriend.
On TickPick. I'm not sponsored by TickPick, so F them. But $457 for row 5. No, row 6.
Row 6? I'm in row 11. Hold on. Hold on. I'm texting her right now to send me a picture of the ticket. That way I could show it up here and give you proof.
Yeah. I'm just bringing it up because I was saying my point that I was going to make about ticket pricing is that WWE and AEW have both gone up in price. So realistically, it's a fantastic thing to see
that people are still going out and paying that money to see.
So, I mean, you factor in the economy and everything that's going on. The holidays just happened. You know, people are spending money to go to a pro wrestling show, whether it's a house show or pay-per-view. The only thing I was going to say too, which is the biggest thing, is WWE on the same night as AEW. I don't think there will be a time where AEW outdraws WWE, just for the simple fact that WWE,
they are too different.
Yeah, just brand recognition at this point is at an all-time high, and I think for AEW they're still trying to get that, which is fine. It's completely fine, but obviously you have to factor that in, like, you know, as long as they're both selling tickets and people are going, that I think that's a win for professional wrestling.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
If you get that ticket, show us, because I don't believe you.
Okay, hold on. I'm waiting for it.
That's amazing.
I promise you I'm going to get it on this live stream.
No, honestly, if that's the case, that's amazing, because I haven't seen floor tickets. I mean, the cheapest.
She's texting me right now.
Ooh, what do you guys think, chat? Y'all think he's lying? $200 for floor seats?
So 100 a piece.
100 a piece. There's no way. There has to be some, like, especially WWE has been.
Okay.
They're the worst company, by the way, when it comes to pricing out their tickets, because they be going like, "Oh, we're super cool and shit." So
yeah,
$6,000 later.
It's like the Lions, dude.
Reese Gamble in the chat says, "I got 2 floor seats for the house show in Baltimore last weekend for $300 total." What the hell?
See, it's not, and I bought these weeks ago. All right, so I'm in section floor 5, row 11, seats 10 through 14.
Okay.
And I will show you. I have it. I'm gonna cover this up, but hold on. Because her friend has the tickets on her phone, but she did send me exactly the section and everything like that. So if you read right there at the bottom, it says section F5, row 11, seats 10 through 14. And I could show you the Apple Pay of the money that I sent.
It's wild.
So section floor 5.
I'm not even going to look it up. If you're getting it for that cheap, I wish I freaking knew about it.